Greetings. About 2 months ago, I made a series of 5 videos documenting a day in the life of how I try to practice and maintain my skills as a professional musician who hasn't yet won a big gig, who teaches. Just again to try to navigate what does a day in the life look like of a musician who's serious about maintaining their skills. This is a follow-up video on that. A couple weeks ago, partly out of my own laziness, I slept in and had an obligation, and so I didn't have the amount of time I usually do to kind of go through my steps of warming up and my process and routine. And through that process, I kind of stumbled upon a new process. And so this is, again, another day in the life video where I'm going to document my kind of new routine. I'll give a little commentary as I go, why I choose to do what I do. It's very similar to the ones before, but this is, again, my kind of new established beginning of the morning routine. Let me also back up. If you have watched or stumbled upon any of my day in the life videos on YouTube, I started, when I made those videos, I start with a buzzing only session. That has modified now. I am going down or going deep into this feedback loop system of free buzz play. And so that's what this is going to be. I'm going to demonstrate what I currently do using the resources that are available at the Willamette Valley Horn Academy, wvhornacademy.com. So everything you're hearing are resources that I use every day, use with my students to help them get better. And so this is, again, I guess you'd call it my new daily beginning routine. So I start with what's called my 15-minute routine, efficiency routine, which I have in my website. And I'm just going to demonstrate. So I've got my Bluetooth speaker set up. And I'm just going to do what I do. Here we go. Follow along if you want. I free buzz. Reset to the high F. Then I pause my little track, back it up to where at the beginning. I take my mouthpiece and I do the exact same thing on the mouthpiece. Pause it, I go to the horn. That is the feedback loop system. Shape, feedback of the mouthpiece for accuracy. Hopefully I don't have any spit. 2. Next is a harmonic series. Yada dee da yada da da da. Free buzz first. That's the system. Free buzz, buzz player. I pause it, I'm backing it up on my phone that I'm using. Oops, too far. And then I buzz it. Then I do that on the horn. I'm striving to find the shape of the free buzz, the bullseye of the mouthpiece buzz, put it together, and they feel connected. One technically isn't on the harmonic series. I have to finger it, but it's just a way of starting on high F, ending on low F. Next, it's harmonic series expansion upwards. Free buzz first. Back up. Okay, here we go. Buzz. Then I go to the horn. Again, I can feel the shape of the free buzz. I can feel how it feels, the elevation or the, what's the word, amplification of the buzz into the horn. One more expansion upwards, a full octave, kind of glissy, kind of scaly. You'll hear it. Okay, free buzz first. That's the key. Free buzz. Free buzz, buzz, play. That up. I had to back it up a little further. All right. Now on the mouthpiece. Shape. Then I put that on the horn. Now, when I do this on the horn, I do tend to go above high C. Many times I just make sure I have the double high F. See if I have it today. Could go a couple notes higher, but that was a double high F. Now I work, same idea, free buzz, mouthpiece buzz, play in the lower register. Here we go. Work that low range. Again, back it up on my track. All right, hold on. Oops. All right. Mouthpiece. Go to the horn. Next I go to, I call them mini sizzle scales, but the idea is to just work on tone. I also work on dynamic contrast and control. Again, still free buzz, mouthpiece buzz, play. First 5 notes of major scales. Back it up. All right, mouthpiece. Sorry, my nose is a little itchy. Shape, buzz. Now I go to the horn. Now, sometimes I'll do all of that loud, come back and do all of it soft. Sometimes I'll just alternate. For our purposes, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to alternate. Start with loud. extra on the horn just to get all the way up to the high C. Next, articulation. Back it up. Mouthpiece. Crystal clear articulation. Clarity. And then on the horn, I like to try to do it ultra staccato and then more legato, just again to have that feeling of control of all all articulation concepts. So staccato first. Now the same thing, more legato. Obviously the pedal range didn't go as great as I want. Wasn't terrible. It just, again, sometimes that happens. All right, next. At this point, I'm done with the free buzzing part. I now just do mouthpiece and playing. The reason, though, I think free buzzing is so important, I'll take this time to say, is because, again, if you free buzz the correct way, which is to say you bring everything to a point. I like to go blow out the candle, move the candle here, which means you have to put your upper lip slightly in front of your lower lip. But I can feel the lips literally gently touching. I feel the upper lip almost like a bird's beak, if you can kind of think that. I can feel the upper lip over the lower lip. I can feel it kind of rolling in and staying tight. And what's cool is when you do it, there's a balance. There's an effortlessness to it, which is what I'm striving to, for myself, to always check in on that, and also for all my students. I want to teach them that the horn has a balanced embouchure that is effortless. But if it's not that, it can be very tight and forceful. And one of the reasons I think students struggle in the high range is because they're too firm in the corners, their tongue is too low. There's a whole series of kind of variables that need to be in place. And again, the intent of this is to show you the process. All right, we see lots of people on social media, whatever, that perform these amazing things. Probably things that I couldn't do. They're just amazing, blow my mind. But we never see the process behind the curtain, as you will. All right, so next I do these little octave slurs, and then I go through a series of kind of full range, kind of connecting all the ranges. So this next one is just octave slurs. I buzz first. My horn. Again, the goal is to feel that all of those octaves, those 4 different C's and etc., all feel like the same shape. So I think, imagine and think about that free buzz shape. Thinking focus. I'm always thinking lips touching. Next is a fourth, fifth interval thing. These next three, the one I just did, the next one after that, they're kind of out of the Art of Horn Playing, Farkas Art of the Horn Playing book. They're basically that. But again, I like to feedback loop system. Here we go. Onto the horn. Just make sure there's no spit. Start with the shape. Empty. I have a feeling, but at this point, there's probably stuff in the slides. Do this. All right, back to the mouthpiece. I call these broken chords, but they're basically out of the Farkas routine. clubs in that one, but again, when I do these long ones, it's warts and all. Good, bad, and ugly. Okay, couple more. We're almost done. I call these octave snakes. All right, and then finally, I've reached kind of the end of what I tend to do, which is it's called my chromatic full range connection exercise. It's very similar to the first thing I did, but here it's about just connecting the 3 octaves of the standard or horn range, although technically you can go higher and lower, of course. But I do 2 parts of it. Sometimes I do the whole thing, but anyway, the point is I'll demonstrate it first on the mouthpiece. Top line F all the way down to low B, back up, back. Okay, and then I work this low range part just for clarity. Middle C. I pause it there. There's more to that track, but I pause it there. And then I like to play a chromatic scale, usually in eighth notes and then triplets from low C to high C and back down. In triplets, although I feel some spits somewhere, so let me get that out. Hopefully that was it. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my current as of June 14th. That is what I do first session of my day in the life. That's how I get myself re-warmed up, find my shape, get kind of maintain the skills that I've developed over 30 years. And what I will kind of end with saying is, if you feel free to, of course, try some of these, see if some of them work for you. The resources that I use, the buzzing resources, they are all behind a $5 a month membership paywall in the Willamette Valley Horn Academy. That's wvhornacademy.com. Started during COVID. It was a place where I could put all the stuff I'd created up until that point. And COVID, I got really into composing and arranging. So there are, and again, I don't have an exact count, but there are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 or more resources that you can access, from buzzing tracks to piano accompaniment tracks to original compositions to arrangements for patriotic music, Christmas music, sacred arrangements. There's chamber music works, there's horn quartet arrangements, there's excerpt help, there's a full sequence curriculum with etudes and guided warm-ups and buzzing tracks. I mean, duets. I'm trying to think of all the things. They're all there, and the whole point is just that I want the horn to be easy for students. I want to develop them, I want to set them up right. I want them to have the resources. I want them to practice better. The better you practice, the faster you learn. So if you sat here and watched this whole video, first of all, kudos to you. Second of all, I hope it was helpful. And again, this was a day in the life of how I maintain my skills as a striving professional horn player and music educator and teacher. I love process over product. I'm always striving to find the secrets, the keys to helping unlock the horn, because I think most of us would agree, especially early on, it's a very difficult instrument. But it can become easier if we reveal its secrets, if we figure out how to get kids set up the right way. And I have lots of insights over 30 years of playing ups and downs, struggling, being persistent, continuing to grow and strive, having a little grit, and just saying I love the horn enough to keep going even when I fail. It's a passion of mine. So thank you. If you watch this whole thing, I have no idea, it's somewhere probably in the 30-minute range at this point. Thank you kindly. Don't forget wvhornacademy.com. Some of my arrangements and compositions can also be accessed, like Sheet Music Plus and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you so much. Happy practicing.